everybody. Welcome back to the Damn Yankees podcast produced by Seven Ashes Productions. I'm Megan. That's my brother Ryan. And down there is my husband Cliff, also producing. I don't know how to introduce you. So,
like I said before, you can call me the baseball dummy. That's who I am.
Yeah, you are the baseball dummy. We do explain a lot of things to you. Okay, so we it's been about almost 2 weeks since the last time we did this. We had a little bit of a family emergency, so we, skipped last week, but we are back, and a lot's happened since the last time we filmed the podcast. Literally, as we were closing down the last one, Diaz was being carried off the mound at the WBC.
I think as we were walking out from the podcast, we found out that Diaz got injured.
Yeah. And all that craziness that happened afterward, and just all the excitement of everyone, all
the people complaining that it shouldn't be happening, and then people, saying it
as if you can't get hurt in spring training.
As Rhys Hoskins ended up doing anyway, so
right, yeah. Lux, tell the Dodgers that you can't get hurt at spring training. I'm sure they'll disagree. But that was an exciting ending. It was
Trout
an exciting
Shohei, 3-2 ball game, 2 outs, 3-2 count. Like, I don't think you can get any more excitable than that, other than, Mad Dog had different opinions, which was pretty dumb, but
quintessential old man yelling at clouds, and got nothing right, even though he's employed by MLB Network. But
it makes no sense. You're trying to build a game that, for these young kids, and they
people
bring
are
the
excited,
and you're trashing it, calling Trout just a strikeout, guy who strikes out, as
right?
if if it was as much as I love Stanton,
I was just going to say this is Trout, not Stanton.
Yeah, I could understand it a little bit more, but you're talking about 2 teammates who never play in championship games.
Never play in a championship? No, that might change. I hope that changes for them, but sorry.
I don't see it with the Angels, but they up to this point in their career, at least, they have not played in any type of championship setting, playoff setting type scenario, let alone the championship game. They are teammates, so we never see them face off each other in a, other than maybe in batting practice videos, but that's not anything, serious.
Right. Yeah, this is, both players want their, playing for their country, heart on the line. They want to win, and they were putting it all out there for it being March.
Yeah.
That was pretty exciting. So,
and for, I know that there's this new crowd of people through Twitter recently with all the sports that, the sport is scripted for their endings. The Trout Shohei one, it had that feel to it. It had that feel of a Hollywood type script ending with those 2 playing against each other. I don't agree with those conspiracies, but
all it was missing was a runner on base for
runner on base and Trout to hit a 2-run home run to win it.
Yeah. So it was it was pretty cool to see people that, you wouldn't normally get to root for because, Mike Trout's not on our team. So why would we root for him? It's cool to see him play, but so it's fun to watch a game.
Trey Turner became everybody's favorite player for a month before, we had to start hating him again.
Right. Exactly. So it's fun to be able to cheer for, players that you don't normally get to cheer for. And it's a much better game than the All-Star game if you're going to make that comparison at all. So,
sure.
I think there are conversations, it's just more fun than the All-Star game is just, it seems more fun for the players. It's cool to see them all hang out, but the game isn't very exciting. Right.
Yeah.
But,
these guys were all playing, put everything on the line. And, for all the people who think that it shouldn't be happening, I think you have to ask the players are the ones who are playing the game, and they love it. They want to do it. They loved it so much. They've already confirmed 2026 is happening. So
that's all you should need to know.
Who cares what you and I have to say about, or who else has to say other than the players on if they should be playing this tournament. So
yeah.
It was exciting baseball.
It was exciting, and I'm excited to see it happen again in 3 years. And
I'm excited for what that might bring to this season. Like what that excitement brought. How that will translate as we get into the regular season.
Leads into the regular season, right? So, again, WBC is only good for baseball. So
yeah.
Okay, so since the last time we talked, we went to a spring training game.
It did not get rained out. It was actually a beautiful.
It was
day.
Perfect.
It was very cloudy, overcast. But it was a good day. I would have personally hated a day where it was very sunny for what I was dealing with. Yeah.
What were you dealing with, Ryan?
Day after St. Patrick's Day.
What were you dealing with, Ryan?
Too many green apple shots or green tea shots.
Green tea shots.
Green tea shots. Sorry, green apple is what came out of my mouth, but green tea shots. Wasn't the only thing.
Oh no, we don't need to go there. We made it. We got down to Dunedin and we saw the game. We saw a pretty good lineup. Scott Nestor's first game.
Judge there. Judge hit one off the top of the wall.
Yeah.
You were schooling some Toronto Blue Jays fans in their knowledge of the game.
They didn't know some stuff. I forget even now what I was telling them. Telling them about themselves. He asked about Peraza. I know I corrected them. It was Peraza is the other one that you're trying to think of. I think.
He couldn't think of the Waldos. He called both of them Waldo.
And it was right, yeah, I had to correct him. No. One's Waldo, one's Oswald. Yeah. Yeah, Ozzy. I like Ozzy.
You got a great picture of you, telling that guy all about
I know, I
himself.
didn't know you were taking pictures. I wasn't telling them about. They were nice guys.
You're doing this thing.
I wasn't doing that thing. I was trying to say, hey, because I was definitely butting into their conversation. I just couldn't help myself because they were getting something wrong about the Yankees. So I was trying to correct them.
We had to insert ourselves into it. But no, they were nice guys. I mean, they were funny guys too. I think that, when Judge hit the ball, first, I think it was his first at bat, he hit the ball right off the top of the wall. And he was like, oh, I'll go hit a gym, Get yourself to a gym, Judge. You're weak now, or something
what's
like
happened? That. Yeah, they said they were actually in Toronto, or maybe the father was in Toronto for what did he hit up there? Why am I blanking? His 60th, the home run.
Yeah,
or 61st. What did he? I forget what he hit up there. I feel
Judge did
like
something.
a dummy, but
he hit the breaking one against the Rangers. So I think it was the tying one was against the Blue Jays.
Okay, so I think he said he was there for that, and he said, Blue Jays fans were really excited still. They were on their feet clapping for him, excited for him to have done that. And I was like, really, all of them? But he said if that had happened, if Vlad had done that in Yankee Stadium, that, ball would have been thrown back in. And, it's you probably,
as is tradition.
You're probably not wrong.
Probably right. I mean, at the same time, I don't think Judge has
break,
gone
a Babe Ruth record, or at this now Roger Maris records, now Aaron Judge record. If you're breaking a Yankee record, of course they're not going to.
They're not going to like that. But also, has Judge ever said that the Rogers Center is his house?
Well, would it be his? The Rogers Center wouldn't be his house, but
right. But I guess
I get you.
But you know what I mean? Yeah. Judge, I don't think has been talking trash about.
No, Judge doesn't talk trash.
The Blue
he
Jays.
Just shows up.
You remember at the game, somebody else down the way yelled, "Judge, you suck!" And then those guys looked at each other well, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna shit talk, we're gonna say honest things "Hey, you're too tall."
Yes, yeah. See, they were
Did he say you're really good looking, Judge, or something like that too?
You're too good looking.
Yeah, they were pretty cool guys. And
they gave us their seats at the end of the day.
Yeah, which is when you were standing in the general admission,
they left about seventh inning, and about when all the starters left.
A lot of people do, and so we were able to get their seats, so that was nice. We almost got hit by a Kiermaier throw into the stands, Mr. Social Media Manager over there.
Yeah, we were not paying attention. We were paying attention during all the gameplay.
Yeah, this was between innings.
Kiermaier came up and tried to throw the ball, and he was like getting it all the way up to like the top rows.
It was pretty funny. Once they switched out to the minor leaguer, he was not getting all the way up.
All I know is I'm just trying to get content for you guys, and a ball comes flying in high, almost clocks me in the head.
It wasn't that close to your head.
It was close.
It wasn't that close. Calm down. Well, some guy like knocked over everybody's beer. So
and he didn't pay for the beer. Like I was like, dude, if you're at least gonna knock everything over, like I'd be like, hey, I caught the ball, but let me.
I thought he said he would.
I didn't see him do it.
Oh.
I mean, he said he was.
Well, hopefully he did it. We didn't notice. But,
hopefully.
That the lady that was there was less than happy about the whole
she was
situation.
not happy. And then she was like, are you at least going to give us the ball? And he was like, no.
He was like, no, I've got a daughter in the stands or something.
And so I was like, sure.
Yeah. Like, okay. Yeah, so it was like the second one he'd caught, I think.
Yeah. They weren't too happy about him doing all that. I mean, he knocked over the whole table.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been too happy either.
But anyway, to wrap up, the game was good. Yeah. Volpe, I think, got a hit. Judge got a hit. Again, it was good to see a decent lineup. Yeah. I think the first 4 guys were like starters. The Blue Jays had like their entire starting lineup in, but weren't putting out their best pitchers, whereas we were putting out some of our better relievers. And
we saw King and Holmes.
Yeah, we saw King, Holmes. King did
who else, but
King did okay, I think.
King did well. He actually didn't have an earned run, even though because he was all 3 of those runners that were on base were Nestor's.
Yes, Nestor didn't have his best day,
but that was his first day. So he looked like we said in the first 3 innings. It was like he looked really well, except for 2 pitches that got crushed.
Yeah, and one of the pitches should have been a strikeout.
And then the next
everybody, even the Toronto Blue Jays fans, were like, "Ooh, got away with that one." And then the next pitch was a 2-run homer. So,
didn't see any funny stuff from Nestor, but it was his first game back, so I imagine.
But he was doing some funny stuff in his recent
the last game. That's what made me think of it. So
So I mean, that's the last 2 weeks. Since the last time we were on.
Took you to a UF game too, we
did go to a UF game while I was up in Gainesville. It was
Sproat pitched a complete game shutout. I mean, that was a pretty good game to take you to.
Yeah.
Beat Bama. Yep.
Beat Bama. Always like beating Bama.
Yeah.
And I lost my shirt at the concession stand.
Yeah, it's a lot more expensive at the concession stand than a major league game, honestly.
Yeah. The beers were almost 13.
Yeah,
because I wanted to get the Spurrier beer.
Yeah, that was where we went wrong. You got the Spurrier beer, the local brewery, and named after head football coach. So but anyway, it was a fun game. We had cool seats in the outfield and
cool park.
It was fun. Yeah, cool
park for the Gators, but it was good.
Yeah.
I'd much rather sit in those Adirondack chairs than like going into the actual stands.
I don't mind sitting there. I mean, that's fun. I mean, you got the outfielder right there too.
Yeah, you see the game.
Get there a little bit earlier so you can be right up against the fence.
Yeah.
But,
so it was fun. It was a cool little back with the food trucks behind you and everything. It's a cool little back outfield seating area. So
yeah.
All right. Well, we can get back to talking about the Yankees. Presumably that's why people are watching. Maybe some people. Hopefully.
Hi, Cindy.
So, yes, obviously the big news today is the last day of Florida spring training. Apparently the Yankees are going up to Washington, D.C. to play one more exhibition game, but they're leaving Florida. And we know who who made the roster. So obviously by now when this comes out, it'll be we know the big question: who made the roster? Everybody was talking about. So so we know that Volpe made it.
Yeah, Volpe made it. Cashman made the right decision. He listened to Boone on this one, and instead of vice versa.
Good to see.
Cashman even said today. I'm surprised he said it, but all the other teams were also saying like, "Hey, you got to put in Volpe." I think I said it, 2 or 3 weeks ago that Volpe was the best shortstop in the Yankees organization. So it's good to see them get that one right. Cool to see someone going to be making their MLB debut on opening day.
Youngest since Jeter.
Since Jeter. And Jeter didn't even MLB debut on opening day.
Like
so
middle of May or something when he got, his debut. So very exciting. The Bronx is going to be on fire. Like it's, I wish we would be able to go to the opening day game. Yeah, absolutely. Nothing. Just being at the stadium would be awesome for this game.
I saw on Twitter, one of the Yankees Twitter guys, Mario Gomez, has opening series tickets, and I was like, dang. Why do I have to be in Florida? Sometimes seeing those things is like, I don't know if I could afford going to an entire opening week series.
Some seats. I mean, some seats are not too bad, last time we sat in the bleachers, it was like 18. Oh, right. Did you see that Sunday?
Judge.
Oh, the Judge Burger. That's such a gimmick. I'm going to sell 99 of these for $20. Yeah. But I mean, so that it still looked good. It was like a really tall, it was a vanilla sundae with like pinstripe, like chocolate or something. It looked really good. Hit my sweet tooth. I was like, oh, I'd want that.
Yeah. Sometime we're going to have to get up to New York and go to a game up there. But,
I would. Yeah, definitely would love to. Lately, it's been seeing the Yankees in everywhere else. I think the last time we were at the stadium, unfortunately, was Cliff. Do you remember?
It was just before you guys got married, I think, or proposed to.
No, we certainly went in 2016 before we flew out.
Oh, this is just you two.
Yeah, so just.
I think the last time was just before you guys.
Probably when we went
before
for
engaged
some family thing. So it's been a while, regardless. So it'd be really nice to be able to go to the stadium to watch this awesome lineup that they're going to put out. But there are still some things to kind of think about. I think the lineup has kind of built itself up after Boone's comments, and certainly by the time this comes out, I'm sure we'll know the lineup because it should be coming out, opening day.
Yeah, I think the main question is Hicks or
Cabrera.
Hicks or Cabrera starting in left field.
And then where are you going to put Donaldson and Torres in the lineup?
Yeah, and will Torres or DJ, who's playing second? Who's playing
second?
Yeah.
Yeah, who plays second, who DH is. So we know that DJ is going to lead off. We know that Volpe is going to hit ninth. And I do like that. I like the Volpe, DJ, Judge in the, flipping over the lineup.
Yeah, Volpe is going to be great. Batting last.
Can you imagine Volpe on second and, him messing with a pitcher while Judge is up at bat?
Yeah.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that.
So I think that it is going to end up being DJ to start. In my opinion, I think DJ should start out at second, Torres DH, but I can also see either way.
I can see either way.
Injuries, but
my gut instinct was that they would start Torres at second because you don't want to make him feel bad first day.
Yeah.
And
my thinking is that Torres has been out of the Yankees infield for a lot longer, like with the World Baseball Classic.
Being at the WBC, yeah.
Yeah, with DJ being around, getting a little bit more play time on the infield. He's gotten used to a bit more of the rules because WBC didn't have the shift rules and all that. Point. So that was just my thinking, was that DJ's been around it a little bit longer to get used to that. So I thought he was going to play second. I really think Cabrera should be the starting left fielder. I know we all hate Hicks, and that's probably a bias of that. But like when you just look at what Cabrera's done, he hit a home run. No, he hit a really solid single today to drive in a couple.
Yeah, it looked nice. Yeah.
But he's had a stellar.
They showed his
OPS
stats,
is over 900.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. He's been a beast in spring training, and again, in spring training, Higgy is the king of spring training, and then so we know how that goes sometimes. But he looks good.
Yeah, I think he's earned the right to start, and if he struggles a little bit, I mean, as much as we all did not like Hicks, I don't mind Hicks. I don't like that Hicks is going to be paid as much as he's going to be paid to be on the bench, but the money is already out there, so it's not like it's not like that's changing. Right. The fact that we have someone like Hicks, who is a veteran on the bench, who, if Cabrera has some struggles, it's not a bad option to bring up. My main worry would have been if Cabrera was not doing very good and we had to rely on Hicks.
Right.
That would make me feel like the lineup was kind of weak on that front. But yeah, I say go with Cabrera.
I mean, Cabrera has been hitting all spring. He has 4 home runs. He's. I think he should be rewarded with the opening day. I mean, Hicks,
my only concern is that they've already given Volpe a rookie opening day starting. How are they going to give 2 rookies?
Yeah, and again, along the lines of trying to coddle people's feelings, that they might start Hicks to make him feel more confident, but they didn't put him in that many spring training lineups games towards the end. I think the other day I could be completely wrong. This could just be like recency. You miss some certain games on TV because they don't televise them. So maybe I'm just not remembering it right. Yeah.
It was funny because Hicks hit that rope, or Cabrera hit that roped single, or was his the double?
And you had texted, I think his was the double, and you said, yeah.
And I said, that's my starting left. Yes, there's our starting left fielder. And the next pitch, Hicks ropes a single out.
And Hicks had a nice, that was a nice hit. Good on, build on it. He's taking up a roster spot, so he might as well do well.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Donaldson. Like, we saw his new stance. Like, you're in the roster. There's no way you're getting off the roster, unfortunately. Like, that's how we felt beginning, is we wanted him off the roster.
No one's taken on his contract except the dumbass Yankees. So
hopefully this new stance of his, he's hit 4 home runs, I think, on this new stance.
Yeah, it was at least 3 in 3 games when
I thought maybe it was 4, but I mean, at least 3.
Yeah. So he hit something. He did well today. What did he hit today? Single or something? He hit a nice. There was a nice hit out to left center that the
everybody's
Rays
talking
player
about the new
could misplay, but
it was a double, but yes,
it was a double. So his swing is good. It's at least whatever he did, whatever he changed, he's looking better. The results are there. So I hope that stays, and that is and that Boone's prediction that he's going to be comeback player of the year or whatever.
Talking Yanks that he was that it was going to be a good year for him. I guess last year he gave Cortez.
Nestor would make it to the All-Star game. He'd have an awesome year.
And so he's predicting this year that his big take this year is Donaldson is back. So and again, we hope that that's correct. As much as we hated him last year, as much as last podcast we were talking about he was the most hated. He's my most hated Yankee.
I don't like him. Yeah,
he's a Yankee at the end of the day, and if he can help us win a World Series, then I want him to do well.
Yeah, I mean, for context, it's not just the Yankees, because the Toronto fans were like, "Oh man, you guys really don't like him. We love him. He won an MVP when he was here."
I was
like, "Oh, you want to take him back?"
Like,
and immediately, "Oh no."
Sidebar.
This is why now we're good.
I mean, to be fair, but
sidebar. This is why I enjoyed when Youkilis was a Yankee, and why I was really hoping for Manny Ramirez to become a Yankee.
No.
Because then you'd have to say nice things about.
To see me being tortured.
No, because then you have to say nice things about them.
Manny would never have fit into the Yankee way, though. Like, he would have had to cut his hair. He would have had to.
And I tried to tell that to Cliff immediately. It was like, his personality is not. He was like the anti-Yankee, which made him perfect for Boston.
Yeah.
So
one of us.
The baggy pants.
You can take that jersey off. You're not going to be allowed to wear that. You keep saying stuff. What?
Continue.
But I'm excited for what the lineup is going to look like. Obviously after Sevy's injury, it just felt a little bit gloomy on our side. I mean, we've got last time we talked, we already had a long list of our injured players. Now you add Sevy onto that list, and it just felt a little bit disappointing. But you look at the opening day roster or the opening day lineup, and it doesn't look bad. And even while not looking bad, Bader is still not in that lineupe.
Right. And when we hear today during the game that he's
looking
not
better,
that far out, right?
Yeah.
Would you say he's looking like a master?
What was that, Cliff?
Would you say he's looking like a master?
No. No, dark.
Our mother's not going to like that comment when she puts it together.
Yeah, she's going to...
I'm just asking questions.
She's going to be upset with you. No, it's be like Darth Vader, or Bader,
Darth Vader.
Ryan's shirt. It's perfect. I mean, he is clearly made to be part of the evil empire, so...
Yes. But no, I'm excited for that lineup, if as long as it can stay healthy. It's going to be an exciting lineup. The big omission from the opening day roster that everybody's talking about, that I just feel like on Twitter has just been very polarizing, is Peraza being sent down to AAA. I don't think anybody liked that, but
nobody liked it. I can't say I was surprised that he was sent down to AAA. I mean, I felt like there were two options once Volpe made the lineup or the roster. It was trade Peraza, which I'm sure they don't want to do right now.
Yeah, trade Peraza,
or
trade
maybe
Gleyber,
or trade
send him down.
And right now you get to keep Gleyber and keep Peraza by sending him down. So
and all the people who are complaining that IKF is the one that's taking up his spot, like they just don't understand how rosters
not
work.
Realistic at all. Yeah, I mean,
IKF is in there as a utility player. He's not going to be playing every day. He is basically a bench warmer. He is I think he's going to get in a lot of games because Boone likes him.
Oh, yeah, Boone said he'll play 4 to 5 times a week, but that doesn't mean he'll start 4 to 5 times a week. And
yeah, absolutely. And I think the other thing with that is that we're basically looking at a much better version of Marwin Gonzalez. Maybe not someone who hits as much pop as Marwin would have had, but that's what we're looking at. And that's not the position that Peraza is going to play. Peraza's value is as a shortstop. His value is in playing every day starting. And the only place, like at the end of the day, it was Volpe or Peraza. Unless they could have traded Torres, which I don't think would have been a right decision. Yeah. I don't think if you're going to trade Torres, his value isn't there right now. I mean, he's got good value. But
he definitely has.
He's going to have more value at the trade deadline if we are going to trade him. But I also don't think that that's a good idea. I think Torres wants to be a Yankee, which means he's going to want to. And even if he doesn't want to be a Yankee, he's a free agent next year. He's going to want to prove himself. Use it. Let him have. I mean, he's not going to have a Judge-like final season, but. Free agent season, but
what is he like? He's our 4th best hitter last year, anyway. I mean, especially if you take out August, he was amazing. Like he did so well.
If you take out August, he was probably our 2nd best hitter.
Defensive metrics improved at second base last year. Like
so, I just don't see if we're looking at it, and if you're going to be honest about the conversation was Volpe or Peraza, and everything that we saw. And I get that spring training is spring training. But I don't think anybody's arguing that Peraza should have been in over Volpe.
Right. So, no, that can't be the argument. Nobody wants to make that argument because everybody saw with, 2 weeks into spring training, this is the kid.
And in this game, Boone was doing his interview during the game, and he made comment on multiple times that Peraza, this is not the end for Peraza. He told Peraza, keep his head up. This is a very humbling sport, and people come up and take jobs, but that doesn't necessarily mean he lost a job. Just that, play.
He said he handled it like a pro.
Yeah, handle it like a pro. Get down to AAA. Do your thing down there.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
he essentially alluded to the fact that he'll be back in a Yankee uniform at some point this season.
Not that I would want to wish injury on any of the infielders at all.
But we have a history with that.
Improves. But we have a history with injury. Like
38-year-old on third base. We have a 34-year-old who's injured for most of last season. Torres dealt with injury. Volpe is unknown, kind of.
Hopefully, as a 21-year-old, he's good, but you never know. So, I mean, I think the opportunity still exists is the point. And, him being sent down to AAA is not the worst thing in the world.
No, he's going to get good at bats. He's going to be able to prove himself when he gets that opportunity to move back up. He's going to have an opportunity to prove himself again.
Yep. The only other question about the roster is, help me out, Calhoun and Ortega. Yes.
Calhoun, Ortega, or Florial.
Or Florial, sorry. Or Florial.
Neither of us like Florial as that option, I know it. That I think Boone likes it. And you have to consider that Florial, if it's not him, if it's not Florial, he's DFA'd.
Right, he doesn't have any options. So
doesn't have any
true.
options, where the other two are not even on the roster. So
right.
And it sucks that sometimes those are the decisions. Like, because in my opinion, Calhoun is the guy to go with. I know you're in between.
I'm in between the two of them. Like I said, I think like we were talking before the way we started. You have recency bias, right? Ortega just hit a home run today.
Yeah,
and it was
last impression,
pretty sweet swing. Yeah. So, but I mean, I'm sure I know they have longer memories than that.
But I feel like Florial offensively, he doesn't really bring much, and defensively he does bring a good glove. I know he mentioned that today, that that's what Florial brings to the team. He's got good speed.
I would say he's fast, right?
So,
that's
he's
one. He's just been down in the minors so long. My underlying comment is kind of like, why now? Has he gotten that much better?
And at the end of the day, one of the other considerations that I get that he's out of options, but the reality is he's going to be DFA'd sometime this season, no matter what. Bader is going to come back. And once Bader comes back from the IL, that's the spot. So Florial's out as soon as he's up, if he's the one who makes the roster. So, that's why I just think maybe just do it now. Get the guy between Calhoun or Ortega, whoever you think is the best. I think it's Calhoun.
I mean, Calhoun's certainly been fun and exciting this spring training.
Yeah.
I know Ortega kind of had a little bit of a lull the last week or so. I mean, why not? And call up all the kids.
I don't know if Calhoun is a kid, but yeah.
Well, he's pretty young though. I mean, not like the one kid that's younger than our niece, but that's weird to me.
Yeah. So I think that it should be Calhoun or Ortega.
That's why you don't think he's young. He's only a year he's a year older than you. I mean, so I guess he's not really young. Yeah. So
I guess my point was he wasn't like a Peraza.
All of you children.
I didn't realize he was 29, to be honest. I
remember just looking up that I was like, Calhoun's he's a vet. He's a decent vet.
Kid. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, the other roster spot that we have not, and of course, when this gets uploaded, none of this may even our comments now may be.
Oh, this isn't going to matter at all. Everybody's going to know.
By the time Thursday comes around, we're going to know who it is. But I know they discussed Hamilton or Weissert for the last.
Which bullpen. Surprised me.
I just feel like it's going to be Weissert. I think he said Hamilton's got an option thing.
I think even I can't remember who I was listening to on the broadcast today who said it, but they said it's going to be Weissert, right? I don't think so. whoever asked, they were like, it's
Maybe
got
it
to
was
be Weissert.
Coney.
It could have been Cone. Yeah, Coney. But he was
Yeah,
like,
I think
oh,
everybody
well,
just
no,
assumed that, and he was like, Hamilton's got a. He said Hamilton's got a roster thing.
Yeah, and then I was at work, so I was like kind of half listening, and I think I don't know, I was very confused at what was going on. So I was like, I didn't think that was really that big of a question, honestly.
If you're listening to this and you're like, you idiots, they picked Hamilton. Just at this moment, we think it's pretty sure it's going to be Weissert.
Yeah.
But and again, this is another thing for consideration. If it is a roster thing, these positions are, you never know with injury, but other injuries that could come up in the first week. But you do have Trevino and Canely who are coming back up, and it's probably quite clear that the Weissert and probably like an either Cordeo or Abreu are going to be the ones to be moved out once they get back. But those are the roster. Any other?
Yeah, I mean, technically the fifth starter hasn't been announced. True. Not sure.
True, and he said that he doesn't need to make that decision right away, and I think they have to evaluate where Rodon is. But it's got to be Johnny Burrito now, right?
Burrito, yeah right. No, they called him Burrito on the broadcast. I was like, all right, I like that. I think I heard Cash call him Burrito too.
Yeah,
in his interview.
They got Johnny Lasagna, so now you got Johnny Burrito.
Right. And they both spell their names like not like J-O-H. I saw that today. Johnny Burrito spells like J-H-O.
I think it's Johny, isn't it? Or Jhony?
The burrito one? Or Johnny Burrito? I don't know. I mean, I could look it up, but I saw it earlier and was like, that H is in a weird place.
Yeah. Well, regardless, I think he proved himself. Hopefully he is one of the 5 starters who are there until those guys get back.
He was 5+ perfect innings or something, right? Or
5 and a third.
Perfect game, but 5 and a third. 5 and a third perfect game.
Rodon is supposed to be.
He spells his name Jhony. So a little weird.
Yeah,
different. I mean, who knows? My middle name is weird. So.
Rodon, his injury, they updated that he pushed a full 30 count bullpen today. Not just fastballs. So that's good to hear. They're hoping 1 to 2 starts missed from him, maybe 3 at most. Sevy is about 4 to 5.
Sevy's not as bad as it sounds. Yeah. So it seems like he thinks he caught it.
About the first month. So hopefully by the time we get to May, we get those 4 guys in, and then Brito, Herman, and Schmidt get to fight over who's the 5th, because obviously Montas isn't going to be available until like September.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, we can't count him in at any point right now. That's not the worst thing. I mean, last week it was pretty, like you said, deflating or demoralizing to see how many people were going down, and it still sucks, but it's nice to see that these 3 guys that
I think we're in good hands for the first month.
Yeah, I'm glad that our pitching depth is good enough that we can, say, okay, not a big deal.
It's transparent of how the organization feels. I know there's not a lot of trust there, but that they did not rush into trading Torres or Peraza to get a starting pitcher, that they feel confident with the guys who they're going to go into the season with.
Schmidt pitched well today.
Schmidt pitched well today.
I think Herman got hit around his last start, but
but I mean,
he in general he's solid.
Been decent. So we can move on, I guess, now to predictions. I think we covered most of the lineup stuff. I mean, again, most of that lineup and roster stuff is going to be a moot point by the time we get to Thursday.
Release date, that's all right.
But
see if we're right. We can keep notes.
So I don't think you did predictions, but you had your thoughts.
I looked at yours and I was like, those look, I would say that those are similar to what I would think.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, my division winners are probably not all that creative on the AL side. I mean, I got the Yankees, Guardians, and Astros. That's pretty much what we had last year. The Yankees, I mean, I know I've seen some Yankee fans being like, I'm going to be unbiased here and say it's going to be the Blue Jays. I did that last year, and the Blue Jays, they just weren't as they advertised themselves.
Yeah, I mean, they have some recent quotes where they're like, we've grown up and, we were a little too loud or something last year. And, so now we're more mature. And that could fall into it. They were, they hit well when we saw them.
And maybe
spring training.
Our former first baseman has told them, hey, cut it out.
Donnie
Mattingly, yeah. So, because I think upon him arriving, he was like, yeah, we're getting rid of the stupid home run jacket. Like,
I bet that was him.
I mean, you're losing 13-2 and you hit a home run and they're like, let's put a jacket on. Like,
we're not doing that. I could see him doing that. So, absolutely.
Honestly,
Mattingly too.
Yeah, they do have Chad Green, but he's rehabbing.
They take care of him. I'm sad.
I do hope they take care of him. But I do think the Yankees are going to, the Blue Jays definitely have the better lineup, like the better lineup depth when you look at it.
Yeah.
But pitching, I think that their pitching is a little bit overrated in certain areas. I mean, I think everybody loves to talk about how fat he is, but he is a pretty good pitcher. Why am I blanking
maybe it
on his
helps
name?
him like CeCe.
CeCe got skinny and he got terrible.
Yeah. And so like now he's much, much more muscular or, looking much skinnier, I guess, than he was ever when he played. Anyway.
Yeah. Their ace is good. Gosman is okay. But like every year they think that I'm doing terrible with the names of these Blue Jay starters, but Barrios, I think is his name. Barrios.
Yeah.
Every year, the Blue Jays fans think that he's going to be back to his best year, but he's like an over 4 ERA guy. I just think that with that and their bullpen's not very good. I mean, they brought in Chad Green, but again, he's injured to start.
Yeah, he's not there yet. So yeah, I mean, whatever. Yankee bias. Who cares? Yankees are going to win the AL East, and
and of course, like the rest of the AL East is still very close. Like, I mean, we can always talk about how the Red Sox and the Orioles aren't, very good, but the Red Sox seem to be like an every other year. Like one year they're like World Series potential team, and then the next year they finish dead last. So I'm hoping that this is that. They go back to back and finishing at the bottom. The Orioles have some good rookies, but I just don't see that they don't have enough depth yet. Their pitching rotation is not very good.
It might be fun to watch, like last year, but I mean, I think we're talking. Yeah, Blue Jays, Yankees.
I'll get into the Rays in a second, but I think it's in the Central. The White Sox, I feel like, got a little bit worse, but they did add Benintendi, so. One of the guys who I wish we were able to get back, but I also understand why they didn't go for it, especially when you have Jason Dominguez, coming
out. I mean, he could be up.
He could be up by the end of the season.
He could be up at the end of the year. Yeah, that's certainly true.
So I don't see the White Sox getting any better, though I think Dylan Cease is going to be a potential Cy Young winner this season.
Yeah.
Very good pitcher for them.
They build on what they did last year. And
and they got a pretty good. I mean, Lucas Giolito, I think, isn't he still with the White Sox? I think those guys, they have a decent rotation. But I just think that the Guardians, they have a really good young lineup that I see them. I don't see them dropping out. I don't see the Tigers. The Royals doing anything. I know the Twins brought back Carlos Correa, but he was desperately trying to leave that team. So you can't tell me that adding Carlos Correa back onto the roster is going to do anything for them. They didn't get Rodon. They didn't get a lot of these players that they were after. So I just don't see it with the Twins. Going to the NL, I got the Phillies. Cardinals, and Padres. So those are actually all three different from last year. Phillies, maybe that's just recency bias watching Trey Turner ball out, but I do think this could be the year they put everything together, though Rhys Hoskins is going to be a tough loss for them.
Blow. Yeah. I mean, the Mets also had their tough loss, but
Braves are going to be a tough team this year.
Both East divisions are going to be, pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you might be right about the Phillies, but the Braves, I don't know.
I mean, I would not be. I felt like I picked so much like chalk line on the AL side that I wanted to be a little bit more different on the NL side. So I went with the Phillies just because I think Trey Turner does add a lot to their team.
That's true. It was a huge pickup.
So, and if Harper can stay healthy, I mean, Harper has been, when he's healthy, he's on MVP caliber numbers. So I just think I see that for them. They have a decent rotation. The Mets are still going to be in it. I mean, but losing Edwin Diaz, especially when he pretty much is their bullpen. Like, they were having to come in for 2 innings at a time to try saving games. I mean, he was kind of like an old school reliever in that way. And in games where he wasn't in yet, like their other relievers just did not hold those leads. So I just see that being a little bit of a place of contention for them. Yeah. But they did bring back Nimmo. As much as I don't like Pete Alonso, he's always a really solid bat. Francisco
he's a Gator, so I'm always like, I don't know. He's
just a weirdo.
He's a little weird, but
Francisco Lindor, I think, has been pretty good. Yeah. Especially like seeing him in the World Baseball Classic. I think it was exciting watching him play. So
absolutely.
Mets are going to be in there. The Marlins haven't done enough. And the Nationals, they're going to be in the bottom. I mean, they got some pretty cool young prospects that they got from Juan Soto, Mackenzie Gore, Cad Cavalli. I think I don't know if either of them are both rookies or if they've used their rookie. Maybe Gore did. I'm not sure. But either way, they're both good young players that I think could be exciting, but I just don't think they're as a team.
Nothing.
They have Patrick Corbin as their opening day starters. So that just tells you kind of where they're at.
Yeah.
Cardinals, I don't know if there's much to say. There probably wasn't much of a hot take picking the Cardinals to win their division. I mean, have you seen their
No, I mean, the NL Central
lineup?
Is sad, but no, I mean, I could guess parts of it, I guess.
Their lineup is good. I mean, they got Lars Nootbaar, who's shown out for Japan. They added Contreras, which
I forgot about that.
Moving on from Yadier Molina to now having probably one of the best NL catchers outside of like JT Realmuto, who got stupidly he got ejected today for no reason.
What? Because the ump couldn't
put the ball in correctly.
In his hand?
Yeah, just seemed like a very butthurt moment for the
I
umpire.
Can't wait for the lip reading on that one.
Oh looking forward to the John Boy lip reading there. But the Cardinals just have a really great lineup. Their biggest weakness is their pitching rotation is not good. I've been seeing a lot of Cardinals players. They have a really good bench. Like their bench, like some of their bench players, I wish that we had on our starting starting lineup.
Yeah.
They've got Juan Yepes as their backup outfielder, and he's decent. I think Carlson is on the bench for them, and he showed up last year really well when Bader left. I've seen Cardinals fans saying that they need to trade some of those guys for pitching. They've got Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah.
Hope he does well. As much as I'm sad to see him go, I hope he does well over there. They got they got their ace back on an extension, so that's really good for them. I just see the Cardinals running it. The Brewers are going to be a good team as they have been, but I think the Brewers are such a toss-up for me right now because it all depends on Corbin Burns.
Yeah, I mean, I know
he's disgruntled.
Seems to want to be out of there. Yeah. So
I mean, we've talked about arbitration before, and I know there's a lot of people who don't understand arbitration. Sometimes I think even not Yankees fans, but fans in general, baseball fans, even some of the more in-depth fans, like people who understand the game, sometimes still don't even understand arbitration. I mean, you're owned by the team. You don't get to have a lot of say in where you trade. Like that, you can't even make an official trade request when you're under arbitration. And they sent Corbin Burns to arbitration because they couldn't agree on a number. And when they're in that, they go to court and they have to argue against each other of
why you don't deserve this much money and why I do deserve this much money.
Yeah.
And then so the team gets to say all bad things about them.
Yeah. And with the Yankees, I think last year when it came to Judge, it was a lot about his injury issues. But it was never like the Yankees never said the reason why we did not win
the
against the Red Sox is because Judge did this, or reason why we didn't win again, But
I can't believe
according
that
to
the
Corbin
Brewers,
Burns, that's what they did to him.
Yeah,
like they kind of blaming him for.
Can't believe that.
Yeah,
sorry, it's just crazy to me. Sorry, keep interrupting you, but
you're good.
It was just like, how can you say that he's the reason that the Brewers missed the playoffs? Like, maybe he had a part in it. Maybe everybody choked at the end. Like, this is a team sport, and you're blaming your
ace,
your ace,
Cy Young winning ace. Like, so
way to treat your ace well. Yeah, that was so. Kind of does depend on what happens with him, and I mean, you can make the argument that the locker room might be a little
shaken
awkward.
About that.
Maybe not. Maybe they're professionals. Maybe not, but. I don't know. I would go with the Cardinals over the Brewers.
Yeah, I just think that they are a little bit more together. They seem like a fun team to be built together.
Yeah, I mean,
the Cubs did make a lot of splashes, though, so they're going to be a team to watch out for. They added Dansby Swanson, who's not had a great spring, but again, spring.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Spring doesn't matter all that. Like, not that it doesn't matter. Obviously, it mattered for like Volpe.
It matters if it matters. Like, so hopefully he can turn it around. And
but there's a reason why he was one of the top 4 shortstop signings. So for them, I think it is still an addition. And then they did add in Bellinger, who also has not had the best spring, but maybe a new environment is going to be good for him. He's on a 1-year prove-it deal there. So we'll see what. We'll see what he does, Bellinger does there. But I think the Cubs can be good, but I just don't see them, again, being better than the Cardinals.
They did add Tyone, too.
Oh, yeah, they did add Tyone to their rotation, which, again, hope they treat him well. Loved his time with us.
Is this Stroman?
Stroman's been there, but, he's the opening day.
This is his second season there. I don't know why.
Yeah, he's the opening day.
He's their opening day starter, though. So,
so again, their rotation is, that shows how that's their weakness. If Stroh is your opening day starter, nothing against Stroh. I know he would probably block us for just saying that, but
immediately.
Pirates, they made some weird moves. They made some decent moves in some areas, and then in some areas, weird moves. But
Pirates are going to pirate.
Yeah.
So,
so
you got your AL and NL wild card.
Well, real quick, the West. I'll do the West real quick.
The West.
Yeah,
my bad.
Padres, I think, are going to win that division. I think the Dodgers.
The
Dodgers have kind of degressed a little. I mean, they had a major injury with their young second baseman or shortstop.
Shortstop. Lux, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're shortstop because everybody was like, we have a shortstop for you.
Yeah, we have a shortstop for you. Here's IKF.
Yeah.
So They did, I think, decline a little bit with that. I do think they've lost a little bit of depth, but who knows, maybe they don't mind that. I mean, they had Gallo and Bellinger, who were kind of like the same player. I did forget to mention that Gallo is now with the Twins as well, but I don't know how much that actually helps them. But I just don't see that the Dodgers added enough this offseason.
But the Padres did.
But the Padres did. I mean, they, obviously they had Juan Soto added last year, but they got Red Sox Xander Bogaerts to play shortstop. And so now you're going to have Tatis back from his suspension.
And there's attitude was certainly spend. I mean, they wanted Judge real bad.
Yeah, they almost got him too.
So there was another one they were really hard, like they were in on. Was it Rodon or was it Correa? It was Correa.
Correa.
How could I forget? Duh.
I mean, they did end up getting him, and it wasn't like the rest of them. But I know that they were in on him. They re-signed Machado, to my sadness, because I kind of hoped that Machado was going to, but I mean,
take somebody else's spot. Yeah.
the Padres learned from the Yankees and just, said, hey, here's your money.
Yeah. Right.
Right away.
We don't want to argue about this. Let's, we like you. We want you to stay. Here's your bag.
He's matured a lot. I think he's he would be like the Yankees losing Judge over there.
Yeah.
And
I think the West really is this year. It's the NL West is the Padres to lose. With a lineup like you have, they should.
Yeah. The Giants, I thought, were close to being like a really contentious team, but obviously they lost out on Arson Judge. Then they lost out on Carlos Correa. They had Carlos Correa and then lost him.
Yeah, they had him. And
then the Mets had him and then they lost him.
What a fiasco that was.
That was a crazy time. It
was just when it happened with the Mets, I was like, there's no way. That can't be. What do you mean?
Yeah. So real quick, my wild cards are the Blue Jays, Mariners, and White Sox. Again, I don't think that's too different like last year. The big difference is the Rays. And I feel like every year, like I say that I just don't see it with the Rays this year, but then they prove it.
Figure out a way, and
they are going to have a really good rotation. I mean, McClanahan is a Cy Young candidate. If that one guy who always gets tall guy, long hair, Glasgow.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, if he's back and stays healthy, it looks like Nico Horner for the Cubs just signed a 3-year extension to avoid arbitration in future seasons.
There you go. Good for him. No arguing about how bad you are. Yeah.
So I feel like this is just the year, like their lineup is not as good. They lost G-Man Choi. They didn't really make
lost a lot of position players, or like Kiermaier.
Yeah, they lost Kiermaier. I feel like if they're not good, Randy Arozarena, I feel like is going to be the next guy for them to get moved. It's just their MO. They do not keep guys to extend them. I love Arozarena on the.
He's so fun.
But I don't see that for them this year.
I don't either.
But Blue Jays I feel like are a lock in unless they have major injuries. Mariners I feel like are a lock in. On the NL side, I have the Braves, Dodgers, and Mets. I don't really think there's much to argue there. No.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I just think that, and those are 3 powerful wild card teams. I know I said the Dodgers had kind of fallen off and the Mets had their injury, but
they're still. I mean, they're still going to
be the Dodgers.
Win a lot of games. Yeah.
Now, this is probably the most biased thing about my predictions is that the Yankees are going to beat the Padres in the World Series.
Hell yeah.
I got to have hope, Every year I got to have hope. Volpe is on the team. We are winning number 28 this year now that Volpe is on it.
Or it's a rebuilding year.
I don't you ever say that. The Yankees are never in a rebuilding year. That's No.
And part of it, if
They
I
have
want to
way
be
too
realistic,
much money to ever be in a rebuilding year, and they do have great prospects. So no, that's not okay for them to ever be in a rebuilding year. Sorry.
you're good. My thing is if I want to be realistic, it would probably be the Astros. I mean, they haven't lost much. They added good stuff on their they added Jose Abreu. He is older, but is definitely an improvement for their first baseman. So
yeah.
like
Susan.
I could not. I tried, but I could not physically write the Astros.
Yeah, I was like Susan said, have the Astros gotten any worse? So I mean,
but
Yankees really still have their.
I'm a Yankee fan at heart.
I'm hopeful. The Yankees,
I've got them. You and I both. We got them tattooed to our skin.
I mean, they're gonna win, right?
I'm gonna predict them every year.
Crazy shit happens. So.
Awards, and I try to be realistic about the awards. I think MVP for the AL, Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, it's just did he already win it just on his WBC performance?
Probably. But
just give it to him.
There's quotes that Shohei's not happy that he lost to Judge. I mean, I feel like Judge.
I saw
Judge
that.
Won. I feel like Judge won it. Obviously he won it, but I feel like he deserved it.
And maybe you're not happy. Of course you're not happy. You lost, but
I just think that this is going to be a year where he's going to try to tear it up. I know that he wants to prove it for a team that can maybe take him. To give him that big contract.
Yeah,
I think this is his last year. So. This is his prove it year.
I think so. Yeah, I think
so. So I just think we're going to see probably the best version of Shohei that we've seen, which is kind of scary because he's been crazy good.
Yeah.
My NL MVP is probably the same. I think it's the same as it was last year. Again, it goes into why I think the Padres re-signed him for what he wanted, Manny Machado. It's just if he stays healthy, he is up there with the best. I mean, he was in the discussion last year between Goldschmidt and Arenado. I just think now with how deep that lineup is, they might, split votes, and I think Machado has a really good shot.
Yeah,
at it.
I can see that.
Cy Young, I've got for AL. I got Jacob deGrom. I just think that initially I wanted to put in Garrett Cole. And I do think Garrett Cole will be in there. But now with Rodon, if Rodon gets back to healthy and pitching again, kind of the same thing as I said with Goldie and Arenado, they're going to away from each other. Votes. And I think with Jason deGrom coming in, I mean, again, McClanahan's going to be in there. There's some other guys who are going to be in there, but deGrom, the script is there for him. He's coming off of an injury season, not necessarily an off season, but an injury on and off season. He's moving to a new team, new situation. I think if he improves the Rangers' chances of being a wild card team or even just has a really good season that we know from deGrom, I just think that voters are going to love to pick deGrom to win an AL and NL Cy Young. I think it's just there.
So he'll just need to stay healthy too. But, yeah.
On the NL side for Cy Young, again, there's a lot of people that I think could be in that mix. But I'm going with Spencer Strider. I mean, he had a rookie year last year that was really good. They signed him to a rookie deal, and I just think that he's going to ball out for the Braves.
Yeah, I mean, he's really fun to watch pitch. I mean,
again, there's other guys in there. Verlander is now kind of he's the opposite of DeGrom. Where he's he's taken DeGrom's position on the Mets. Scherzer is in there.
Yeah, Scherzer. I would put Scherzer more likely above Verlander. I don't know why. That's just a gut.
Yeah.
But again, they might also have those split votes from each other too. So New York,
So I have just to feel like this is a Spencer Strider's year.
It's a solid pick.
AL Rookie of the Year. Maybe this is just recency bias and excitedness, but I think Anthony Volpe has a really good shot at winning it.
There might be some bias there, but I think he actually does have some. Really good shot.
Adley Rutschman, is that his name? Adley, the second base, or no, that was last year. He was the catcher. Gunnar Henderson from the Orioles, second baseman for the Orioles. I know that's like the Vegas odds to win it.
Oh, okay.
I just think it like if Volpe does like what he could do from what we've seen, I really think that he has a really good shot at beating out anybody for Rookie of the Year. Voters like giving Yankees Rookie of the Year votes. Maybe not as much often MVPs and Cy Youngs, though we did just get our MVP.
That was, that undeniable. Can't really he had to be that good to win the MVP.
Yeah. And that's again why I think Ohtani wins. Like Judge had to go out and break a AL record that hasn't been broken in several years, like, over 60 years.
Yeah. Was it 62 years?
And that barely beat Ohtani. So,
right.
And then my last one, again, this one's definitely not much of a surprise. Corbin Carroll from Arizona. I think that he's my pick to win the Rookie of the Year. Again, there's some other guys on that side that have opportunity to win. Jordan Walker being one that I like from the Cardinals, third baseman. Super young guy. I think he's like 20. Like he's going to be one of the youngest guys coming up. But
did you say Jordan Walker? Sorry. Was that
Jordan Walker? Yeah.
Yeah. He was one of the other. I was just trying to look up his name because I couldn't figure it out. That's what I was doing here, and then I heard you talking about it. So
yeah,
I like him. That was really fun to watch him. Those videos of the prospects being told they broke camp is those are pretty cool.
They're cool videos.
Yeah, like watching Volpe, it was like, oh, I'm not crying, you're crying. Yeah. It's cute.
But yeah, those are my predictions. I don't know if you have any other thoughts.
No, I mean. Not really. When I saw your picks, I was like, yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm always bad at the prediction game. I don't know. I always like get in my head and I don't know what to do. So these look pretty good to me. We'll see how right you are. We'll just bookmark that. And
I'm always
see how
wrong.
You do.
So.
Well, hopefully you're not wrong about the AL East and the World Series winner and the important stuff here.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think last year I got Aaron Judge, and I think I got because I know I picked Aaron Judge to win MVP.
How many home runs do you think he's hitting this year?
Judge, I want to say between 45 and 50.
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Carry the team on his back again.
I'd love to say he's going to hit 60, but I just don't think that that's his focus.
I mean, that's such a special year. Yeah, I mean, he made that his focus last year. His goal was to hit 50, and he shattered that goal.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think 45, 50 seems like a good range.
Yeah, and I think like this year, I think he's even going to more improve on his batting average. I think he is going to chase. I mean. Judge is going to say he's chasing after the World Series, which I think that is his primary goal. I hope it is, him being the captain of the team now. But I do think that he might be chasing after a possible Triple Crown. And if he does get a Triple Crown, then he's going to be back in the mix for MVP along with Shohei. But I just still think it's going to be Shohei.
No, yeah. I don't see it happening. They won't do it 2 years in a row for Judge. They just won't. One last one, fun one. How many ejections do you think Aaron Boone will have this year? He had 9 last year. It was 4 more than any other manager in the league. Yeah.
Yeah, that's because he defends his players like any other.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. I like it. Do it.
I don't know. Maybe he'll try to beat that record. I'm gonna go.
He got a whole other thing to argue about now. What did the pitcher, kick off at the right time? And, I heard him yell about, I think it was Sevy last start that Sevy had, that he had a pitch violation. And he was like, well, hey! And, you could hear him in the dugout. And a whole new thing for him to argue about. I think he breaks last year's record.
I'm going to go with 10.
All right.
I'm going to say he breaks last year's record.
Bookmark it.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there any other fun ones or anything else?
I was trying to think of other fun ones. I saw like a over-under on how many positions Cabrera would play. And I feel like that's just a question of like, he's not going to catch.
Cabrera's going to play all 3 outfield positions. He'll play short, second, third. I think he plays every position but pitcher and catcher.
Right? So it's like,
So
is 7 or 8 positions, do you think? And
I would say 7.
I'm sorry. So like what? All right. Well, if the Yankees actually like did this, if they did position players pitching, like they just don't normally. I don't even can't even remember the last time that the Yankees let that happen.
You can't pitch. You can't do
that's a new one. It's not that you can't. You have to.
It has to be like a certain amount of runs, like 10 runs or something.
10 runs after a certain inning, or down by a certain amount of runs. Yeah, it's a run thing. It can't just be like we give up. Throw out the position player.
So no more Higgy bombs against a Rays position player.
That sounds like a 45-mile-an-hour pitch or something crazy. But if the Yankees even did that, that could be your like. Do you think he's going to pitch or not? But he's not. So
I say 7.
7.
He's going to play every position.
He'll play every position. I guess it's like first base. Is he going to play first base? Is the only question.
I think he's our backup first baseman after DJ.
Yeah, I think he is.
He's third string.
They put him there at least once during spring training, maybe twice.
He put him there while we were at the Dunedin game.
That's right.
For 1 inning.
Yeah, it was 1 inning. They moved him over from second, right?
They moved him from first to second.
Oh, okay. That's right. Okay. Well, that's fun. And so we'll see what we'll maybe mid-season we'll see how if we think we're still right, and go from there, and then see how we do at the end of the season. But I'm excited for opening day.
Yeah. We're going to do another podcast on opening day, kind of give our thoughts about
right after the game. And so in the meantime, everybody enjoy opening day. We're gonna be watching it during work. We'll just have this right over here in the corner. Don't mind that.
So hopefully it goes well. Last year was a really fun opening day where Donaldson walked off against the Red Sox. So hopefully Judge hits a home run against his former team, the San Francisco Giants. Too bad Rodon's out for the first series.
Just from a branding perspective, I think the Giants should have given him whatever they wanted, whatever he wanted, just to stay on the team. The Giants, because he's a Giant.
Because he's a Giant.
Yeah. The branding's right there.
It was there, but unfortunately, Arson Judge did not stay.
Arson Judge said nah. We were very
I'd
glad
have
he
him
did.
clomp around like the streets of San Francisco, like knocking things over, and just take video of that, and that's how I'd promote the team.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Because he's a monster.
He's in New York. He's
a New Yorker. New York or nowhere.
That's right. That's right.
So our next one's going to come out on Saturday. We are going to. So this one's going to be coming out on Thursday. Then we're going to be filming one on Thursday, which will come out on Saturday. So stay tuned for that if you've been watching with us.
What's up, Cliff? Is the pod that we're filming on Thursday not going to come out on Saturday? Tell us.
No, I just thought this one was coming out Wednesday.
Oh, is this going to come out Wednesday?
Maybe it'll come out Wednesday.
It'll come out before opening day, and then we're going to film one on Thursday about opening day, and that'll be out on Saturday. So,
yes.
So follow, if you don't already, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at @DamnYankees_pod, and on Facebook at @DamnYankeesPod.
Damn Yanks.
Damn Yanks _pod.
I'm sorry. Damn Yanks _pod, and for Twitter and Instagram, and then for Facebook, Damn Yanks Pod. No underscore on that one for Facebook. Yep. So follow us there. Hopefully, we're going to be getting more followers and more people watching us. I don't know. I've been having a good time just talking.
Yeah, we'd talk about this anyway. So
we'd be on the phone talking about this. So
if you like hearing us talk about this,
if we get more subscribers, I can buy Megan a new desk.
You what? Oh,
if we get more subscribers, yes. I can buy you a new desk.
This one's pretty gross, guys.
Yeah, I'm on a TV stand, and I've got a nightstand.
Next one, we're just going to do a slow pushing on your face, Megan, and with Sarah McLachlan playing in the background, you just look sad and gesture at the table.
No, too much.
Yeah, like and subscribe to the channel, and hope to see you for the next pod.
We'll see you next time. Yeah.
See ya.